You look at her, want her, and believe more attention will make her yours. But here's the truth. The more you chase, the less she values you. What's easy to get is easy to ignore. Neediness makes you an option, not the prize. Real power isn't chasing. It's being rare, steady, and leading without begging. The scarcity principle. Chasing sends the message that you don't have much value. When your time, energy, and attention are always available, they lose weight. Real power isn't fake distance. It's a steady life that doesn't pause for approval. You move with purpose, you choose where your focus goes, and you don't hand it out just to feel wanted. Being always available might feel good at first, but it kills tension. If she knows you're there anytime, there's no mystery, no urgency, no need for her to earn more of you. People respect what is rare and consistent, not what is everywhere. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring or punishing, it means structure. It's having priorities, your work, training, friends, family, learning, building yourself. A full life naturally makes your time scarce. Your replies are calm, not desperate. Your plans are clear, not open-ended. Your attention feels like a reward, not a plea. A man with healthy scarcity cannot be figured out in one glance. He reveals himself slowly. He doesn't fold just because of a pretty smile or a late-night text. He enjoys connection but keeps his standards and his pace. Here's the rule. Give your best energy to what builds you and share the rest only with those who give back. Protect your time, keep your word, and let your actions show that you live by purpose, not fear. When you live this way, you don't chase. The right people chase you because your presence feels rare, and rare is always valuable. Neediness kills the frame. When a woman feels you need her more than she needs to know you, the balance is broken. She becomes the prize, and you become the backup. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in, attraction is not something you argue for or earn like a grade. Attraction is instinct. It's felt in the body before the mind has words for it. Think of the wild. The animal that chases the hardest is the first to get tired, the first to make mistakes, the first to lose. The one who holds ground, who moves with calm, who doesn't waste energy, that is the one that commands respect. Humans are no different. Neediness signals weakness. It shows that your world revolves around her approval instead of your own mission. Every call, every message, every plan that bends for her says, "My life is empty without you." That message kills desire. It doesn't make her feel special, it makes her feel burdened. The answer is not fake distance, it's strength. It's slowing your pace, standing tall, and letting your presence do the talking. It's showing through your choices that you are already whole. You respect her, but you don't collapse for her. When you live with purpose, your time is valuable. Your yes means something because your no is real. That balance is what builds attraction. Not chasing, not begging, but standing firm. A man who doesn't need to be chosen always has the power because he already chose himself. Respect before desire. Attraction begins with respect. Without respect, there's no spark, no pull, no real tension. If your energy has no weight, your presence fades into the background. And if you don't respect yourself, you can't expect anyone else to respect you. Respect starts with how you handle your time, standards, and boundaries. Do you protect them or give them away for approval? Every time you cancel your plans to be available, stay silent when you should speak, or bend too much just to keep peace, you teach others that your energy is cheap. And what feels cheap is never valued. But when you hold your ground, things change. You don't need to argue or explain. You act from your center. You say no calmly when needed. You guard your priorities without guilt. You choose carefully where your presence goes. That quiet firmness carries weight. Desire doesn't grow from endless pleasing. It grows when people feel your shape, your strength, your standards. A woman can only want a man she respects, and she can only respect him if he respects himself first. Respect is the soil. Desire is the flower. Without the soil, the flower never lives. Calm boundaries greater than loud confession. Real strength doesn't show in how loudly you declare love or how much you give. It shows in how calmly you hold your ground. You don't need to beg, shout, or shower her with promises. What matters most is the quiet moment when you look her in the eye and say, no, without anger, guilt, or fear of losing her. That no is not rejection. It's not cruelty. It's principle. It says, I respect you, but I also respect myself. My world doesn't revolve around pleasing you. I stand firm in who I am. That steady boundary carries more power than flowers, poems, or expensive gifts. Most men think noise wins. Confessions, constant reassurance, endless availability. But noise fades, boundaries remain. A woman may like the gifts, but what earns her respect is knowing you won't collapse under pressure. Machiavelli understood this long ago. Being loved is fragile. It changes with mood and time. Being respected is solid. It lasts. A calm boundary not only protects you, but creates the respect that attraction needs to grow. Loud words may reach her ears. Quiet strength reaches her core. And once she feels that, she cannot ignore it. Sit on your throne. Own the frame. Most men approach dates like job interviews. They list their money, trips, and achievements, hoping she'll be impressed enough to approve of them. But when you do this, you give away the frame. You place her on the throne as the judge, and you wait to be chosen. The shift begins when you stop auditioning. You are not there to prove yourself. You are there to connect. You are the king of your own life, already built with standards, goals, and direction. She is welcome in your world, yes, but you are also deciding if she fits. This doesn't mean arrogance or acting superior. It means calm self-respect. It's the quiet confidence of a man who doesn't need to sell himself. He knows what he brings. He doesn't need to flood the air with words. When you sit on your throne, your presence changes. You don't scramble to impress. You let her curiosity rise. You don't rush to fill silence. You let it work for you. Instead of asking if you're good enough, she starts asking if she is good enough for you. The man who owns the frame doesn't beg for attention. He gives it as something rare. That is what creates attraction. Respect and desire always follow the man who never steps down from his throne. Validate essence, not just looks. Most men go for the easy road. They meet a woman and instantly say the same worn-out lines. You're so beautiful, or you look amazing. The issue? Those words are cheap. Anyone can say them. They don't make you stand out. They make you blend into the background. She already knows her looks attract attention everywhere. What's rare is when someone notices her essence, her thoughts, her insight, her way of seeing the world. That's where real power lies. Instead of rushing in with surface compliments, pause. Listen. Pay attention to her words. If she shares an idea that's sharp or a perspective that surprises you, highlight it. Say something like, "That's an interesting take. I like the way you think." In that moment, you show her you're not just another man distracted by beauty. You see depth, you see what most ignore. This shows standards. It tells her your approval is not given freely. It's earned when someone reflects your values or impresses your mind. Approval from strength is rare and magnetic. She won't remember the dozens who called her pretty. She'll remember the one who made her feel recognized for her mind, her uniqueness, her essence. That's how you rise above the crowd. Not by echoing empty praise, but by validating the part of her that most men never notice. When she tests you, be the rock. When a woman begins to respect you, tests will come. Not because she wants to break you, but because she wants to know if you are solid. Deep inside, her heart is asking, can this man handle me? Can he stay steady when things get difficult? This is the moment most men fail. They get defensive, trying to explain themselves, or they lose control, snapping in anger, or they rush to fix everything, desperate to calm her down. All three reactions send the same signal. Her emotions control you. And once she feels she can move you like a puppet, desire fades. The real answer is not reaction, it's composure. Hold steady. When she pushes, meet it with calm eyes, a steady voice, maybe even a small, playful smile. You don't need to argue. You don't need to fix. You don't need to prove. Just stand firm in who you are. Think of waves crashing against a rock. The rock doesn't fight, it doesn't run, it simply remains. Over time, the ocean respects its strength. That's the energy she wants to feel with you, that no matter how loud her storm, you remain grounded. Her tests aren't meant to destroy you, they are her way of searching for safety. If you hold your center, her storm passes, her trust grows, and her attraction deepens. A rock never begs to be trusted. It earns trust by standing unshaken. Composure over chaos. True strength is not about shutting off emotions or pretending you don't feel. Real strength is about being able to feel deeply, but not letting those feelings, or hers, control you. That is what makes a grounded man stand apart from the rest. Most of the time, the drama she brings is not really about you. 9 times out of 10, it's her own emotions looking for a place to land. Think of it as energy searching for a container. If you panic, argue, or lose control, you don't solve it. You feed the storm. But if you stay calm, steady, and collected, you become that safe container she didn't even realize she was seeking. Imagine yourself as the walls of a fortress. The storm can roar, shout, and strike, but the stone walls do not move. They do not break. Over time, the storm grows weaker against what cannot be shaken. Inside those walls, safety begins to grow. Inside that strength, she finally feels like she can rest. This is why composure is magnetic. A woman doesn't admire the man who mirrors her chaos. She doesn't trust the man who collapses the moment she tests him. She respects and feels pulled toward the man who keeps his balance no matter how heavy her emotions become. Peace is one of the rarest things in this noisy world. And when you are the one who can bring it, people feel it instantly. For a woman, that calm becomes unforgettable. She will remember the man who could steady her storm long after she forgets the ones who only added to it. Because the man who gives her peace is the man she never wants to lose. Purpose above romance. The calm, steady presence that women find irresistible doesn't come from pickup tricks, smooth lines, or fake confidence. It comes from something deeper, a mission that is bigger than romance itself. A man who makes a woman his only purpose gives away all of his power without realizing it. He places a heavy weight on her shoulders, the burden of being his entire meaning in life. No one wants that responsibility. It doesn't make her feel loved, it makes her feel trapped. Instead of pulling her closer, it pushes her away. Attraction fades the moment she feels she has to carry his sense of identity. The answer is to live for something larger than love. Build a foundation that belongs only to you. Start a business, master a skill, serve a cause you believe in, challenge yourself until you grow into someone stronger and sharper. When your life has a mission, every hour gains value. You stop being endlessly available, you become selective. And what is selective naturally becomes rare. Scarcity makes your time, your attention, and your presence priceless. This is why your attention should never look like begging. It should never come across as a desperate plea for approval. Instead, it should feel like a reward, something meaningful because it's not given lightly. That one shift changes everything. Suddenly, she is no longer the center of your world. You already have a world of your own. Instead, she begins to want to step into it. A man who puts his mission above romance moves differently. His calm is not forced, it is real, because his life has direction. His energy is not needy, it is magnetic, because he is already full inside. He doesn't need someone to complete him, and that independence is exactly what makes him attractive. A woman doesn't dream of replacing his mission. She dreams of joining it, of being part of something that already has meaning. Every woman feels this truth, even if she never says it. Desire fades when she realizes she is the only goal, the only focus. But desire grows when she feels she is part of a bigger story, a larger path, something with weight and direction. That's why purpose must always come before romance. It doesn't mean ignoring women, it means living so fully, so intentionally, that your presence is unforgettable. A man with purpose doesn't need to chase. His life, his vision, and his focus draw respect and attraction naturally. Because in the end, the most magnetic man isn't the one who lives only for her. It's the man who lives for something bigger and invites her to walk beside him. Absence with presence. Most men think desire is built by constant closeness, by being available every moment, replying instantly, showing attention without pause. They believe the more they give, the more she will value them. But reality works in the opposite way. Constant presence kills curiosity. What comes without effort feels ordinary. What is always there loses its power. Seduction is not built on constant contact. It is built on meaningful space. The right kind of absence is not coldness or punishment. It is not silence meant to hurt or confuse. It is space filled with movement, with focus, with growth. It is absence that speaks louder than presence because it shows you have a life that cannot be reduced to waiting for replies. When your silence is empty, people forget you. But when your silence is full of progress, people notice without words. Time away from her should not be wasted. It should be invested. In the gym, building your strength. In business, creating your future. In your craft, sharpening your skills. In your faith, grounding your spirit. In family and service, strengthening your roots. Every moment you are not in front of her is an opportunity to add weight to your presence. And here is the secret. When you return, you are not the same. You return upgraded, stronger, sharper, deeper. Your absence has been filled with growth, and people can sense it. She doesn't just see you again, she sees the distance you traveled in your silence. That shift creates gravity. Curiosity is the core of desire. When she doesn't know everything, when she cannot fully predict you, when your silence carries questions instead of emptiness, her mind leans toward you. She wonders what you were doing, who you were with, what you were building. Those unanswered questions make her chase the answer. This is the difference between absence with presence and absence with weakness. Weak absence is withdrawal out of fear or games. It feels empty, bitter, or punishing. Strong absence is alive. It is filled with your mission. It carries the scent of motion. And when you return, you bring the proof of your direction without ever needing to announce it. Remember, seduction is not about flooding her with attention until she gives in. It is about leaving space that she cannot ignore. It is about being rare, not because you are playing hard to get, but because your life is already full. Your silence becomes magnetic because it is not absence. It is presence in another form. So stop thinking closeness is the only language of attraction. Real desire is built in the rhythm of distance and return. Appear, disappear, reappear, each time stronger. That is how curiosity grows, how respect deepens, and how attraction takes root. Because in the end, what pulls her in is not the man who is always there. It is the man whose silence carries weight, whose absence is never empty, and whose return always feels like a new chapter. Stop performing, start becoming. Most men think attraction is about tricks, clever lines, or memorized routines. They copy what they see others do, hoping to look like the perfect guy. But here's the truth. Attraction is not acting. It's not about faking confidence or playing a role. No amount of performance will make you unforgettable. Fake energy always breaks down because it cannot last. Many men waste years performing. They chase too hard, send too many messages, or give away all of their attention. They bend themselves into shapes they think women want, believing approval will follow. But instead of gaining strength, they lose it. Because performing is just begging for validation. And once you beg, respect disappears. The turning point comes when you let that needy version of yourself die. The one who sacrifices standards just to please. The one who pours energy into people who don't deserve it. The one who falls apart after one rejection. That man cannot lead, cannot inspire, and cannot hold attraction for long. In his place, you must build a stronger man. A man who protects his standards without apology. A man who guards his energy like it is gold. A man who leads himself first, before leading anyone else. He walks with direction, knowing his values and goals. He doesn't explain himself to gain approval because his worth is already clear to him. When you live like this, something shifts. You stop chasing validation because you no longer need it. Instead, validation begins to chase you. People notice your presence without you forcing it. Women sense your value before you speak. You stop bending for attention and stand firm in who you are. and standing firm creates respect. This isn't about pretending to be confident. It's about living with truth. It's about ending the act and stepping fully into your authority. No more playing roles, no more desperation, just steady, grounded power built from the inside out. That's when attraction stops being hard work. That's when respect becomes natural. That's when you no longer chase, because you've become the one who is chosen. If this spoke to you, don't just agree, take action. Save it, read it again before you meet her, and start rebuilding yourself with boundaries, calm, and purpose. Want the full guide? Type MASTER and I'll send you the next part on frame control and high-value texting.